Hello once again everyone and welcome to the Sanctuary. Once again we are playing Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn as a little bit of a trip down memory lane. We're doing the Hildebrand quest stuff. Let's go over the rules right quick. I'm doing this as Chris Valentine on New Game Plus. I'm doing this as Warrior, aka Meteor's job in the promotional trailer. I'm doing all instances either solo or through duty support, with the exception of normal raids, alliance raids, and duties that do not support it. And finally, all the quests I do will be done through quest or patch item level appropriate gear. Anyways, so far we are still on the lookout for the elusive thief, but we have, I don't know if Arya is going to be joining us yet. But for right now, we're still on the hunt for the elusive thief. We met Inspector Briardian. The weapon thief we found out was Gilgamesh, who we met during last episode. If I seem like I'm out of it, it's because between episodes I was expected to a lot of furniture moving, and quite frankly I'm tired, so hopefully this quest line will help me catch my second wind. Anyway, last we knew of, where we left off, the elusive thief had sent another message, ending with the words, "I shall come to claim the Lapis Maiden's virtue." So, I'm not going to waste any more time on this, because I would rather get this done and over with. We're going to get right down to it with the level 50 quest, The Business of Betrothals. Ah, there you are. I've been doing some investigating of my own since we last parted. I believe I found our Lapis Maiden. The girl's name is Arabella, daughter of Master Gugurimu, a prominent member of the East Aldenard Trading Company. Her eyes and hair are a most exceptional shade of blue. Her beauty is the talk of the Sultanate. Her purported beauty, I should say. You see, none have actually seen the girl in the flesh. Apparently, her father is the overprotective sort. Some say that the maiden has never set foot outside the family's well-guarded estate. But all this is about to change. Rumor has it that the girl is to be wed. And not just to anyone, mind you, but to the heir of the Brugere Consortium. The formal announcement is set to be made at a commemorative feast, to be jointly hosted by the two family businesses. The venue is Costa del Sol, where preparations are going on as we speak. Word on the street is that the bride-to-be will be making a rare public appearance. It is here that the thief intends to strike. I couldn't be more certain of it. Piqued your interest, have I? My sources tell me that the bride's father is already in Costa del Sol overseeing the preparations. This is one scoop I'm not going to miss, and you're welcome to come along. Alright, we're off to Costa del Sol. There is Gugurimu. You're not one of my associates. This banquet is for invited guests only. If you have no business here, be on your way at once. Beg pardon, good sir. My name is Ellie, reporter for the Mithril Eye. If I might have just a moment of your... Ah, yes, that two-gill sensationalist rag. I read your tiresome screed about this self-styled phantom thief and his letter of challenge. If you have come to tell me my daughter is in danger, I can assure you that your concern is entirely unwarranted. I have not kept my Arabella safe to this day to see her whisked away from me by some fly-by-night rogue. I have spared no expense in securing the best protection that money can buy. The brass blades of the Gebera, an elite unit of the most lethal swordsmen in the Sultanate. They say one of them once caused a man's heart to burst just by looking at him askance. The moment they set eyes on the would-be thief will be his last. If the thief is obliging enough to allow himself to be seen, or do those goggles serve some purpose other than making the wearer look utterly ridiculous? Consulting Inspector Briardian. Your reputation precedes you. And what, pray tell, would you propose? I have promised some of the wealthiest men in the realm that my daughter will be attending the festivities. To renege on my word would have dire implications for the family trade. My proposal is a simple one. Trust the investigation to me. The thief will be in shackles before the banquet commences, and it will cost you not a whit of your precious skill. Very well. Let us see if your reputation is deserved. But consider yourself warned. Greater fortunes than you will ever know hinge upon this banquet. I will not tolerate any disturbances. Such touching concern for his coin purse. If only he could muster the same for his daughter. But do tell, Inspector. After he slipped under our noses the last time, what makes you so confident that you can catch our thief this time around? Our man may boast 1,000 pieces, but he has but a single modus operandi, and it is painfully obvious. A letter of challenge. A precious treasure whisked away from its rightful owner in the broad light of day. This tells me that our thief is an attention seeker with supreme confidence in his abilities. Doubtless he means to target the maiden by using the same methods he used to abscond with the treaty blade. Even now, the fiend is missed, having assumed the identity of someone who will be in close proximity to Miss Arabella at the feast. I have already narrowed the field. Arabella's betrothed, Vans, would be an obvious target for our thief. So too would be his father, Morgant. Yalto Noto and his wife, Sainana, the guests of honor, will give a toast to the couple's happiness. Both will be standing close to the stage where the bride-to-be is set to appear. Needless to say, we cannot rule out Guguremu himself. Finally, we have Leuenhardt, a steward of Guguremu's estate, and Miss Arabella's personal attendant. All the key players, save for the Lapis maiden herself, have assembled in Costa del Sol. Doubtless the phantom thief lurks among them, his face concealed, gathering information and planning his course of attack. We will begin our questioning of the suspects immediately. Should you encounter any suspicious individuals, you are to report back to me at once. Hildebrand Mandeville. I could smell the stench of idiocy and incompetence from a mile away. The pleasure is all mine, contriving Inspector Briardian. Forgive me for not revealing myself sooner. I was simply conducting a bit of preliminary undercover investigative work. Yet to see through my ingenious disguise with such ease. Yes, I dare say your powers of observation rival even my own. Fear not, friends. I, Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, have arrived to defend the maiden's honor as only a Mandeville man can. He does realize there's still a fish on his head, doesn't he? Good Inspector, I realize we have not seen eye to monocle in the past, but a fair maiden's virtue, mayhap her very life, is at stake. From one gentleman to another, let us put aside our differences. Yes, I would welcome your assistance in this case. He assists you? Aren't you a funny man? Oh, it makes no matter. My plan is so flawless that not even your bungling can interfere this time. If you wish to assist me, you may do so by keeping watch over the suspects. In the meantime, I have a promising lead to investigate. I shall return before the banquet begins. While I know this may be asking much, do try not to do anything too stupid in my absence, will you? I would speak with you, but not here. I will be waiting for you outside Costa del Sol. Come quickly, for we do not have the luxury of time. Okay. Oh, he's that close. You've come. Excellent. With that buffoon suitably distracted, we can get to more important matters. But before we proceed, what might I call you? An unremarkable name, but it will suffice. Now answer me this, Chris. You were there when the Phantom Thief, in the guise of Lady Durilda, stole off with the treaty blade. Was there anything about our foe's disguise that struck you as particularly noteworthy? Perfect mannerism. Intriguing. Where most would point out the sheer physical perfection of the disguise, you turn an eye within. A thorough inspection of the mask left behind at the scene revealed a tiny prism sewn into the fabric. It is this stone that allows him to change appearances at will. And yet, like you, this was of secondary concern to me. Okay, so we have a difference of lines here. What did I choose last time? Oh, I chose the identical appearance. Okay. From movements to mannerism, to that utterly obnoxious personality, the thief did not merely look like Lady Durilda, he was her. Such a feat could not be accomplished by magical trickery alone. We are dealing with a clever and thorough criminal, not content to rely upon... We are dealing with a clever and thorough individual, not content to rely on his ample powers of disguise. He studies his targets closely before assuming their identity. He emulates them utterly and completely, that not even their closest friends or family could detect aught is amiss. All the key players arrived at Costa del Sol 3 days ago, when preparations for the banquet began. This would afford our thief more than enough time to study his would-be target. And yet, some disguises are more challenging than others. Put yourself in the mind of our Phantom, Chris. If you were the thief, whose identity would you first assume? Brass blade. Precisely.
Clearly you are far less useless than the bumbling inspector whose company you keep. Strong in number, few of word, able to come and go as they please, a fearsome reputation to scare away any who would draw near enough to realize something was amiss. An ideal entry into Costa del Sol for our man. Deducing as much, I made a point to question the brass blades in the area. Little to my surprise, I learned that there was one man who had not been seen at his favorite alehouse for 3 days past. Our thief has not made a habit of wanton murder. Doubtless the poor man is lying naked in a ditch not far from here. In addition to several security duties, each of the blades has been assigned to serve as bodyguard for one or more of the guests. If the man can tell us of his assigned charge, like as not, his answer will reveal the current identity of our thief. Our thief would not have had the time to carry the unconscious man afar. I will canvass the immediate area. You begin your search on the outskirts of Costa del Sol. Right? Oh, I still need these snippers. Might as well kill him now. Even when running for a quest, still managed to get it done. There he is. Excellent. You're one of the less incompetent assistants I've worked with. Thank the gods! Please, free me from these chains before the snippers eat me alive! There. Now, tell me all that you can remember about what happened to you, and try to be brief. We just arrived in Costa del Sol. Had a briefing of sorts. Master Guguremu gave us each our orders, who we'd be looking after and the like. Had to mind the tour of the area, get my bearings. Next thing I knew, I felt a thwack on the back of my head. When I came to, here I was, stripped to my skivvies. Much to the chagrin of those of us who have to look at you. You say you received orders from Master Guguremu. Who was to be your charge? My memory's hazy, but... One was Morgan, father of the groom. The other was a Lalafellan gent from Limsa. Yalto Noto. Now try to your best to remember. Were there any other guests with whom you were ordered to interact? Come to think of it, yes. There was also a steward, Lewinhart. I was to review with him the schedule of events, discuss the protection of key supplies, that sort of thing. Morgant, Yalto Noto, and Lewinhart. Thank you. For an incompetent fool, your testimony has proved astonishingly enlightening. I shall see this man back to the city and head into the possession of some new clothes. After which I shall return to Costa del Sol to continue the investigation. Go on ahead of me and, for the love of the gods, just make sure that imbecile doesn't cause too much trouble in my absence. All right. Now we're speaking with Hildebrand. That's right. Friend? Ah, there you are, my friend. And not a moment too soon, for I was about to commence my investigation in earnest. Tell me, did you and your Inspector Briardian's avenue of inquiry bear fruit? Morgant, Yalto Noto, and the steward Lewinhart, you say? This does not surprise me. Yes, I had considered them all exceptionally suspicious from the start. With the Lapis Maiden in danger, we cannot afford a moment's delay. I, Hildebrand, shall have our thief in shackles before the inspector returns. Fear not, friend. The inspector shall be none the wiser. If he had hoped to nab the fiend for himself, he should not have simplified the task for me so. Ah, there is one of our suspects standing suspiciously under that canopy over there. Just you wait, fiend. I shall rip the mask from your face and reveal you for the rogue that you are.
Well, this should end badly.
Stand back, friend. The man we pursue is a criminal mastermind. The merest slip of the tongue could put our case, nay, our very lives in danger. Have no fear. Iselli, ready your quill, that you might record my every word as I employ the time-honored art of parley, handed down from Mandeville men of ages past to reveal our foe.
I can think of few topics that would interest my readers less than your blatherings. Just catch the thief so I can have my story, would you? Don't worry, Inspector. I brought my quill and journal too. Your adoring fans won't miss a word.
Capital. This is why you are my favorite assistant, Noshu. Now, behold as I ensnare our prey with a web of words leading to his inevitable demise. Good morning, Master Gugaremo. And a fine morning it must be, for you most of all. Allow me to offer my most heartfelt congratulations on your betrothal to the enchanting Miss Arabella. What is this nonsense? Arabella is my daughter, you... Just who in the seven hells are you, anyway? Gods! Gods! Now hold your chocobos, Gugaremo. I recognize the lad. This is Hildebrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Come to save the lovely lass from the clutches of the phantom thief, have ye? I reckon we owe the man our gratitude. Aye, Vanes? The phantom thief? Balderdash and rot, if you ask me. That said, my betrothed must be quite the beauty indeed, to have such rumors told about her. Perhaps she's worthy of me after all. He exudes an unusual degree of confidence for such an effete, fashion-challenged youth. Most suspicious.
He's a damn sight easier on the eyes than you.
That's me, Vans. Ever calm in the face of danger. Truly his father's son. A worthy heir to the Bougere Consortium, and a worthy match for my daughter, I must say. Yes, I foresee many years of prosperity for our families. Or family, I should say. Which reminds me, Master Vans. Arabella asked me to convey her gratitude to you for the golden clasp you sent some months ago. It has not left her neck since the day. Oh, that little trinket was nothing. Tell your daughter the greatest treasures in the realm will be hers once we are wed.
The time-honored Mandeville art of parley? We'd be sleeping with the fishes now had Morgan not spoke up on your behalf. That said, nothing about the interactions between the three struck me as particularly unnatural.
Let us not rush to conclusions, Miss Ellie. A gentleman fancies a more methodical approach. Yes, everything is proceeding according to my master plan.
Whoops! I was supposed to be taking this down, wasn't I? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan.
I sought only to earn the trust of the families before confronting Yalto Noto and Lewinhart, who have aroused my suspicion from the start. Come, we have a thief to apprehend.
Of course we do.
I've not seen your faces round here. With the East Aldenard Trading Company, are ye? Why, yes, good sir. Very much with them. Some might even say we are the East Aldenard Trading Company. Oh, pleasure to meet ye. Do tell. The Lapis Maiden as lovely as they say? Ainana here's no slouch herself. Like me, she's getting on in years. No offense intended, my dear. Oh, but where are me manners? Yalto Noto the Bruges Consortium. This is me wife, Sainana. I look forward to many profitable dealings with you and yours in the moons and years to come. I dare say this wedding and the joining together of our family's businesses couldn't be happening at a better time. What, with all manner of fell beasts and beastmen taking aim at our wares? Why, just the other day, a shipment of imported foodstuffs was waylaid by the Mandragoras. Nasty buggers, the lot of them. If I were 20 years younger, I'd dice them up myself and make a salad out of... Ye have heard of the Mandragoras, haven't ye? But of course! I once spent a year honing body and mind with the Fist of Roga. My fellow monks and I would chant several hundred mantra whatsits a day.
And your food stores were occasionally raided by the ruthless band of rogue vegetables known as the Mandragoras, yes? Would it kill you to read the Mithril and educate yourself from time to time?
A fearsome lot they are. Rumor has it that they'll not rest until every fruit or vegetable harvested for consumption has been freed from captivity. Why, they struck at the larder here just days ago. The supplies were decimated. Fear not, milady. I was able to arrange for an emergency shipment to replace the stolen produce. It arrived safely some time ago. Settle down, Sainana. Forgive me, wife. She's always saying how meat is bad for a figure. And that, I'd best go prepare me speech. Carry on, lads. Criminy! None of those three were suspicious in the least. But we must not give up hope, lest he of many faces have the last laugh. Where there is a will, a gentleman shall find a way. Come, Nashu, we must move quickly, or the Lapis Maiden shall not be the only one to come to harm.
You speak so fast, Inspector. A sign of a quick mind, I'm sure. Now, where was I? Give up hope. He of many faces will laugh last. The Lapis Maiden shall not be the only one come to harm. I'm not sure that captures the Inspector's intended meaning. But this is no time for us to be standing around. Inspector Briardian will be back any moment now, and he is not the type to suffer excuses.
Quite so, Miss Ellie. Fortunately, I have a plan. Let us investigate the foodstuffs of which Master Lewinhart spoke. Should we find any contradictions in his testimony, we can consider the man a prime suspect. Inspector Briardian will be back before long. Come, Nashu, this is no time to delay.
Here's the food supply. Crates of assorted foodstuffs and a veritable host of luscious-looking coconuts. It appears that our man Lewinhart spoke true? Ye gods! Are those explosives I spy concealed amongst these coconuts? Perhaps I spoke in haste. It would appear that we have found our phantom thief, after all. Oh, those are mine, Inspector. I was looking for a place to set them down, you see, and those coconuts were looking awfully lonely.
Nashu! Far be it from me to cast doubt on your choice of hobbies, but what in the name of the 12 will possess you to bring your creations to an investigation?
Well, they were so helpful in jogging your memory that one time, and I just thought... does this mean you won't be needing this piece of driftwood either?
Your enthusiasm is always admirable, Nashu, but in this event, I fear it's somewhat misdirected. Now, set the driftwood down over there and concentrate on taking your notes like the astute assistant you are. I say, we are most fortunate that confounding Inspector Briardian is otherwise occupied at the moment. Were he to chance upon this scene, he would veritably explode in rage. Now, let us dispose of these things before an errant ember sends us all to a fiery demise.
Confounding Inspector Briardian, explode, a fiery demise. Got it! Are you sure about that? Uh-oh. Don't look now, but someone has returned at the absolute worst possible time. You two were supposed to be keeping an eye on the suspects and staying out of trouble, yes? The inspector will have a fit if he sees you here.
But Miss Ellie, should Inspector Briardian come upon these explosives, the consequences will be even more dire.
Chris and I will see that the inspector keeps a wide berth of this speech. You two just get out of here and be quick about it.
Quick thinking, Miss Ellie. Come, Nashu. We shall return for your creations once Inspector Briardian has been led safely from the scene. Investigation calls us, and we must heed its cry.
Alright, let's consult Briardian.
So, Hildebrand has managed thus far not to destroy anything. Consider me something almost resembling impressed.
Indeed! But enough about Hildebrand. Chris and I have been waiting to hear your latest theories. We should go somewhere quiet and...
An excellent idea, Miss Ellie. Ah, yes, that spot over there by the crate should suffice.
There? Of all places? But surely we could find somewhere more scenic.
I am not here on vacation. I am here to solve a case. Besides, we cannot afford to have our conversation overheard. That junk-littered beach should afford us some welcome privacy.
Yes, Inspector. Privacy indeed. Bloody hells! Don't worry, Chris. I'll figure out some way to lead him clear of the bombs. Yes, please. Lead him clear of the bombs and...
At least we're not doing it in the rain this time.
Is it just me, or is there a bit of a chill in the air? Perhaps we should go someplace warm.
I, for one, welcome a respite from the sweltering heat. Besides, this will not take long.
If you insist, Inspector.
Through the questioning of a brass blade attacked by your quarry, I have identified the 3 individuals most likely to be our thief in disguise. To wit, Morgant, Yalto Noto, and Lewinhart. 3 of us shall split up, with each of us keeping watch over him. Are the 2 of you listening?
Of course we are! Beg pardon, Inspector!
You look unwell, Miss Ellie. Perhaps you were right. I too feel a chill wind blowing in. Mayhap we should continue our conversation elsewhere. Ah, but there is no need. Wait here and I shall build us a fire. Methinks the inspector has taken leave of his senses. The chance of locating suitable kindling on these barren shores is infinitesimal. Here we are. This piece of driftwood should serve perfectly. And as fortune would have it, I just happen to have a flintstone on my person.
Yes, back up very slowly.
There is no cause for alarm. 'Tis not blood that courses through the inspector's veins, but ice. I could not fathom a series of events that would lead such a calm and composed individual to lose his firm grip on that fiery torch.
Remarkable insight, Inspector. I must record these words for posterity. Whee! It's flying!
What have we here? Everything is proceeding according to my master plan.
Yeah, we're fucked.
This be another challenge from the fiend?
Surely you jest, Inspector! It looks nothing like his usual card, see? Doubtless it's just the idle ravings of some madman.
Perhaps so, but we must exercise due caution. Ah, there are 2 more pages. Give up hope. He of many faces will laugh last. It is not the Lapis Maiden alone that shall come to harm. It is more direct than his previous challenges, but there can be no doubt as to the sender. What is this talk of another victim? Final page holds the answer, no doubt.
The final page?
Confounding Inspector Briardian will meet a fiery demise. Ah! Oh shit.
Yeah, this ain't gonna end well. Yeah, that's nothing short of bullshit still. There is no way that fucking happened. Or that would happen to anyone except Hildebrand.
You saw through the fiend's ruse. But how?
Let's just call it reporter's intuition. Are you hurt?
A ringing in my ears, but otherwise no worse for the wear. You have my gratitude. Hildebrand Mandeville, were you able to learn aught of the fiend who made this ignoble attempt on my life? I exhausted every effort, Inspector, yet I fear our quarry proves ever elusive. Excellent. I might have died of shock if you had. At any rate, our foe has revealed himself as no mere thief, but a madman who will resort to cold-blooded murder. We must redouble our vigilance, lest the others come to harm. Vigilance! Yes! Vigilance is the order of the day! What in the name of the gods? Those teeth! Those vegetables cost a fortune, and they're ruined! Ruined! Agent of inquiry? More like agent of injury and incompetence! You ought to replace the supplies that you destroyed before the banquet begins, or I shall see the entire lot of you rot in jail! Yep, saw that coming. Oh, might as well fly over to Leeuwenhart. What was that terrible explosion coming from the beach? Is everyone safe? They're not. The fiend's artless attempt on my life has been thwarted. Sadly, your food supply did not escape unscathed. Master Guremu bids that the damaged ingredients be replaced with all speed. Good gods! This is no thief, this is a madman! As for replacing the ingredients, I fear that will prove a difficult task. Those crates contained imported vegetables of considerable rarity, you see. Vegetables that are in particularly short supply these days. What with the mandragoras at large? Even if I were to place the order immediately, it would likely take days to arrive. The mandragoras. I have heard of that fell band. Tell me, what manner of vegetables did they steal? The rarest was an import from the Far East. I do not recall the name, but it was very closely resembled the Eorzean dragon pepper, save for its color, which was a deep purple. Methinks you dost worry too much, Master Leeuwenhart. Our course of action is clear. We need only storm into the den of these overgrown weeds and steal your precious purple dragon peppers right back. I would advise against that, Inspector. These are no ordinary mandragoras, but rather a bloodthirsty band of killers given succulent flesh. Even the brass blades of the Gebera proved unable to resist them. Oh, a formidable foe indeed. Were only there a brave soul in our midst with a wont for taking on fearsome enemies with not a shred of concern for his own well-being. Your eyes, friend. They speak to me. They say, I, yes I, shall vanquish these rogue vegetables and deliver the purloined goods back to their rightful owner. You truly are a godsend, Invendra. One Sundimal of the Yellow Jackets has been charged with defending the roads from the Mandragoras. If anyone would have knowledge of their current whereabouts, it would be him. Without those ingredients, Master Guguremu is like to cook me instead. Please, friend, you are my only hope. A gentleman would never let his comrade face danger alone. Let us away to Limsa together. Oh, this is where we stopped for some reason. Probably because this quest takes a while. Yeah, and I understand. I'll have to finish this tomorrow. Well, that's going to be it for tonight.
If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links provided. See you next time.